up, everyone? So today we're going to be looking at extending on different types of calculations as part of the AP prep program that have to do with electricity. And actually, we're going to cover some new formula today, and then there will be another part in the last section of electricity as well. Okay, so we've already looked at current. And we've looked at, by this point, you would have already looked at Ohm's law. So we know that the symbol for current is the capital letter I. So current, right, if you look at Ohm's law, so V is equal to I times R. I can be solved by doing V over R, okay? However, current can also be determined if we have information about the electrons that are traveling within a conducting material, essentially. So this is actually how an ammeter measures current. So if you recall, so an ammeter is essentially measuring how many electrons are passing through a wire at a specific, I guess just to say, throughout a certain amount of time, okay? So the electrons that are traveling, we actually consider them to be, the term for this variable is called charge. So we're looking at how many electrons are passing within a certain amount of time. So the number of electrons passing are actually very, very large numbers. So we're going to go back to that term coulombs. So we actually saw this already in the first part of electricity where we talked about conductors and insulators, right? So 1 coulomb is equal to 6.24 times 10 to the, that's a decimal, 18 electrons. Okay, so because, of course, we know this is a huge number of electrons, it's much easier to count electrons in these small packets rather than looking at them from an individual standpoint. So when we talk about the charge, we're referring to the number of electron groupings or these coulombs of electrons. So when we're talking about current, it's Q over time, or essentially the number of electrons over a unit of time. Now, time when we're dealing with current calculations are always in seconds. So we have time, charge over time. So essentially, why do we have that? It's because really 1 ampere, which we know is the general unit for current, is equal to 1 coulomb per second. So essentially, 1 coulomb per second is equal to 1 amp. So let's say we had 2.5 coulombs for every second. Well, that means that we have 2.5 amps, right? So essentially, to figure out the current, it would be our charge over time, of course, in seconds, and charge is in units of coulombs. Okay, now we can also rearrange this formula if we had to solve for other items, right? It's a general 3-variable problem. So let's say we wanted to solve for Q. What you would have to do is isolate for this variable. So you do the opposite function of what it's currently with. So right now it's being divided by time, which means we would multiply by time on both sides. So what we end up getting is time times current is equal to Q, which is our charge. If we wanted to solve for time, we can actually continue this here. Let me rewrite this out so we can, since we have this. So if we wanted to find time, we would have to, again, do the opposite function. So we divide by I on both sides. So time would be charge over current. Okay, so again, you should feel comfortable rearranging a 3-variable problem or a formula. We've done this before with Ohm's law. We've done this with density. So this is actually nothing new. It's just different letters that we're using instead. Okay, so we're going to do a couple of examples and I'm going to have you try some out. And again, we're going to be using GRASP. So anytime you're doing a word problem like this, so again, we saw this with Ohm's law and with density already, you are always going to be using this formatting. Okay, so how much current flows through a hairdryer if 1400 coulombs of charge pass through it in 2.25 minutes? So we are looking for current. We have charge, and it is in the proper values, proper numbers, and we have time, but it is not in the units that are required here. So remember, anytime you're doing current calculations with time, it must be in units of seconds. The units are very important here. So we're going to have to convert this first. Now, how we're going to convert this? Okay, so I'll show you a simple way of doing this. We're going to use a ratio of minutes to seconds. Okay, so we have 60 seconds in 1 minute. But the way I'm going to set this up here is to prove that minutes are going to cancel out. So minutes is the unit we want on the bottom so that it cancels, and seconds is what we want in the numerator. So there are 60 seconds for every 1 minute. So what ends up happening is essentially you're doing 2.25 times 60, which is 135 seconds. Okay, you can just use S for seconds. Now, don't worry about significant digits or anything right now. All we're doing is we're converting. This is not our final answer, right? We're just getting things into the proper units so that we're able to actually continue forward with this question. Okay, so the AS, so we're looking for current. So current we have here is charge over time, right? So current is charge over time, and we can plug in those values since we now already have them in the proper units. So 135 seconds. So it's going to be 1400 divided by 135, which is 10.37 amps. Okay, but we're not finished yet. Now we're going to look at significant digits. So remember, you always look to the original question. So 1400 has 2. Those zeros do not count because there's not a decimal. 2.25 has 3. So we want to round this to 2 significant digits. So the number is 10, but you have to remember to add a decimal there. Without the decimal, the number 10 is only 1 significant digit. So it's very important that if that decimal is not there, your significant digits is incorrect. Okay, then we'll add a little p. So the current of the dryer is 10 with a decimal amps. All right, let's try out the next one. So how much time is required for 10 coulombs of charge to flow past a point if the rate of flow is 2010 milliamps? Okay, so first of all, I want you to make note. So see how this is saying 10 coulombs of charge. To be honest, this question does not even have to tell you this. If it just says 10 coulombs, you should automatically know that that means charge. The unit of the number will automatically should signal to you what that variable is. So if I see milliamps, okay, so it's not in the proper unit yet, but I know that amps are associated with current. So just keep in mind that sometimes when you're working through these problems, it's not going to always say this is what it is, okay? It doesn't have to say that this is charge. By just seeing the 10 coulombs, that should be enough to indicate. It doesn't have to be specific because the unit says it all. Okay, so let's go through this. So we have charge, 10 coulombs. We have current, which is 2010 milliamps. Okay, so we know this has to be in amps, so we can do this right away. So to go from milliamps to amps, we divide by 1,000. So this is 2.010 amps. Don't worry about sig figs right now. We're not done. We're just simply converting here. And we're looking for time. Okay, so now that we have everything in the appropriate units, we can now plug it in. So for time, it's going to be Q over I. And we can plug this in. So we have 10 over 2.010 amps. So 10 divided by 2.010 is 4.975, etc., seconds. And for significant digits, the number 10 has only 1, 2010 has 3, so we're going to have to round this to only 1 significant digit, which would be 5 seconds. Okay, so our final therefore statement is essentially 5 seconds passed at that rate of flow. Okay, so just a friendly reminder, you must always have your units, and your final answer is the only one that you are concerned with for significant digits. All right, so there are 2 I want you to try out. So take a look at this one, read it over, pause the video, and then come back to see how you do. Okay, so how much current, so we're looking for current, must there be in a circuit if 105 coulombs, so our charge is 105, flow past a point in the circuit in 4 seconds. So our time is 4.0 seconds. So actually the units were already in the correct amounts for this particular question. So current is equal to Q over T. So we can plug that in to 105 C over 4.0 seconds. So 105 divided by 4.0 is equal to 26.25 amps. And then there should be 2 significant digits here. So this should just be 26 amps. Okay, and then you should have a nice little therefore statement. So you can say, therefore, the current must have, the circuit must have a current of 26 amps. Okay, all right, so try out this next one. So pause the video, give this a shot, come back, see how you did. Okay, so let's take a look. So if there is a current of 0.015 kiloamperes, so we have current 0.015 kA. So actually this we can convert right now. So to go from kiloamps to amps, remember we reviewed this during our Ohm's law lesson, you're going to multiply by 1,000, which will give us 15 amps. And we have time, which is 10 minutes. So 10 minutes, right? 60 seconds for every 1 minute. So we have 600 seconds because 10 times 60. We want to know what is the charge that is flowing through. So we're looking for Q. Okay, so rearranged, right? Q, let's go back to this, where we looked at this before. Q is equal to time times current. So we're going to have Q is equal to time times our current. We already have these values converted. So it's going to be 600 seconds times 15 amps. So we have 600 times 15, which is 9,000 coulombs. And actually, this is already in 1 significant digit. Okay, so then you would add a little therefore statement. So therefore, the charge that is flowing through this circuit is 9,000 coulombs. So I'm just going to say that verbally because I'm kind of squished in for space here. Okay, so we'll continue. There's one more formula that's part of this extension portion that we will continue in the next part.